Hi, good day all. So today we're going to be doing January 2023, number 39 to 60. So the first question says, item 39 and 40 refers to the following table, which shows the number of books that 59 students bought. So we know that the total is 58, sorry. Number 39 says the mode of the number of books bought. So we look at the number of students. We have 13 students buying 5 books. So we know 5 is your most popular number of books bought, right? Number 40 says the median number of books a student bought at a sale is. So we know median will be n divided by 2, which is 50, 8 divided by 2, which is 19. So we want the 19th. Where is your 19th student? Not 19, sorry, 29th student. So to get your 29th student, we're going to add our 29, where we want to find out where your 29th student lie. So we're going to add 9 plus 9 is 18, and then 18 plus 13 is 18 plus 13, 3 and 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, that's 11, 31. So this here, we have our 31st student. So our 29th student lie on your, is in your 13th, is here. They bought 5 books, right? So we are looking at where our 29th student is. Our 29th student is this region right here. Let me just this region right here, which is 5 books. So when they ask us for the median number of books, the median number of books would be B, which is 5. Number 41. Item 41 refers to the following pie chart, which shows the popular games played by a group of students. Right? This little square thing here, guys, if we're looking at percentage, is either 25% or 90 degrees, right? They said if 180 students play football, how many students are in the group? So again, that little square indicates that it is 90 degrees or 25%, okay? So we're going to say if 25% is equals to 180, right? Then 1% is equals to 180 divided by 25. And we want to find out how many in the group. Our entire circle is going to be 100. So therefore, 100% is going to be 180 over 25 multiplied by 100 over 1. That's 25 by 25. 125 into 100. 4, so it's 180 multiplied by 4. That's 8 4s are 32. 1 4 is 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's 720 students that played football. Number 46. Item 42 refers to the following chart, which shows the amount of fish bought in kilograms by the first 60 customers at a fish market. How many customers bought at least 6 kilograms of fish? So say the least is 6 kilograms. So that is how much persons bought 3, 4, 5, and 6, right? Because they say for the least, sorry, no, my bad. The least is 6 kilograms, so it would be 6 and more, right? So that would be how much persons bought 6, how much person bought 7, how much persons bought 8, 9, and 10, right? So let's add that up. How much persons bought 6? We have 11. How much persons bought 7? We have 5. How much persons bought 8? We have 4. How much persons bought 9? We have 7. How much persons bought 10? We have 3. So 6 or more would be 11 plus 5 plus 4 plus 7 plus 3. 7 and 3 is 10. 10 and 9 is 19. 11 plus 19 is equals to 30. So we have C is your answer. Item 43 refers to the following diagram, which shows a cumulative frequency curve of a height of 20 plots, right? The interquartile range of a set of measurements is, now we know interquartile is your interquartile is Q3 minus Q1, right? So Q3 is where we have 3/4. So Q3 is 3/4 of 20, which is 4 into 4, 1, 4 into 25, 5 3s are 15. So we want to find out at 15. We're just approximating, guys. We're not That is between 4 and that's about 5, right? So we could say this is, so guys, you're going to look at 15 where your frequency is, then you go down and you see that's mostly in the middle of 4 and 6. We know the number between 4 and 6 is 5. Now guys, you don't have to do this exact thing. Don't find the exact, because these answers are pretty far apart, so you'll find out, right? Q1 is a quarter of 20, which is 5. So we want to find out where's 5, which is like 2 with 5 spaces is equals to 2. So 1 space would be equals to 2 divided by 5. So we want to find out 5, 6. 6 spaces would be 2 over 5 multiplied by 6 over 1. That is 6 2s are 12. 12 divided by 5 is equals to 2.4. So we have now Q1 is about 2.4. So we have 5 minus 2.4, which is B would be your answer, right? So when you see the subtraction, you'll be like, okay, C and D cannot be your answer because we're minusing from 5, right? So D will not be your answer, C wouldn't be your answer, right? We said that at 15 it is in the middle, so that's why I said the middle of 4 and 6 is 5, right? So that's 5 minus 2.4 is 2.6, so the answer is A. Right? Now item 44 refers to the following table, which shows the result of a survey for 100 persons from 2 major ethnic groups, P and R. Respondents were interviewed about their attitude towards mathematics. A respondent from ethnic group P, so we're looking at only ethnic group P, we're not looking at R, okay? Is selected at random. What is the probability that he has a negative attitude towards mathematics? So we know that probability is your desired over your total. Now we know your total, T-O-T-A-L. Your total would be for ethnic group P. It would not be the total in general, because they're saying you're looking at ethnic group P. So it would be a desired who has a negative attitude towards mathematics. We have 24 over 60, which is your total. So you're looking for 24 over 60. They don't have that, so I believe that they reduce it. What could go into 24 and what could go into 60 all at the same time? 6 into 24 is 6 4s are 24, so it will be 4, and 6 into 60 is 10. So we have 4 over 10, and then we know 2 could go into 4 2 times, 2 could go into 10 5 times. So we know our answer is D, which is 2 over 5. Right? Let's look at this one. Now, this is where 45, right? The most recent papers, 45 is where we start looking at graphs and, the other topics. So number 45 says the point where a linear function crosses the horizontal axis. First off, what is your horizontal axis? That is your x-axis, not so? So they said the point at where a linear function, meaning when they say a linear function, they mean a straight line, okay? So the point at where a straight line crosses the x-axis is what is known as your, is not C. It is not always negative and it is not always positive. So C and D is out of it, right? Right, so this question is basically telling you what at the point at which a straight line crosses your x-axis would be B, your x-intercept. This is where your line crosses your x-axis. Your y-axis would be where the line crosses your y-axis. Right, let's look at number 46. This is relations and functions. So item 46 refers to the following mapping diagram. The relationship that describes the mapping in the diagram is, this is not one-to-one, because we have this little circle having many to one, right? So it's not one-to-one. One-to-one would look like if you have 3 circles here and you have 3 dots here and they're mapping on one mapping on to the other. That is a one-to-one, right? One-to-one. So this is not the case. We have one-to-many. One-to-many. just means we have one little dot and we have many here, and this is mapping onto a set. That is not the case, right? So it is not one to many. Then it asks you for many to one, right? If we look at this, right, are we having many of them going to one? Yes. If we look at this, we have two little lines going to one, and we have two little lines again going to one. So we can say that this is a many to one, meaning many dots is going to one point here. Number 47. If h of x, they're telling you that h of x is equals to 3x minus 2 over 5. Right? They want to know what is h of minus 6, meaning wherever we see x, we're going to put minus 6. Is 3 by minus 6 minus 2 over 5. Right? So 6 threes are 18, so it's minus 18 over 1 minus 2 over 5. Right? Your LCM is 5. We have minus 18 minus 2, 18, 19, 20. So this would be minus 20 over 5. 5 is going to 20 4 times. So this is minus 4 times, and the answer would be A. Item 48 and 49 refers to the following graph of a quadratic function, right? The maximum point of y is equals to 4x minus x squared is, the maximum point is this region right here. This point right here, that is where the curve meets its highest. That is x is 2 and y is 4. So my maximum point is going to be 2, 4. They said number 49, the value of x at the point where y is equals to 4x minus x squared intersects. The values of x at which the equation intersects y is equals to 0 is. So they want to know what is the values when y is equals to 0. So when y is equal to 0, if we look at this here, our x-axis is actually right here, right? So when y is 0, it would be on your x-axis. So that's right here. That's 0, 0. Well, x is 0, and x is also 4. So the answer would be x is 0 and x is 4. Or, if you want, you could say 4x minus x squared is equals to 0, right? So we want to make x the subject. By doing that, we have to factorize out. So we have x open bracket 4 minus x is equals to 0, and you let each side be equals to 0. So x is equals to 0, and x minus 4 is equals to 0. So x is equals to 0, and x is equals to positive 4. So my answer would be A. So it's either you could use the graph or you use the equation that you give you. You make it equal to 0 and find out what are your values for x. Number 50, which of the following equations represents a straight line? And we know a straight line is y is equals to mx plus c. So we see it have x multiplied by y, so that is not this. We see it have x squared, not that. We see this one has x squared as well, so the most logical answer would be C. We want it in this form, right? We have y. So the answer is C right here. Number 51. Which of the following sets is represented by the function f of x is x squared plus 3, where x is an element of 0, 1, 2. So they're basically telling you what is x and they want to find out what is y. Y is what f of x is equal to. So when x is 0, so when f of x is equals to x squared plus 3, right? So when it's f of 0, right, that would be 0 squared plus 3, so that is 3. So if we first point, we have 0, 3. So all of them have 0, 3. So it could be anyone. So when f of x, not f of x, f of 1. So when x is equals to 1, right, we are saying x squared plus 3. So that's 1 squared plus 3, which is 1 plus 3 is equals to 4. So we're looking for points 1 and 4, right? So it's either B or C. So A is out and C is out because they tell you when X was 1, Y was 1. That is not the thing. We have X is 1 and Y is 4, right? Same thing for C. We have when X is 1, Y is 5. So we know that is not the case, right? The next one, when f of x, or when x is equals to 2. That is 2 squared plus 3. Now, these things, guys, you can do in your head. 2 squared plus 3 is 4 plus 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're looking for 2, 7. So this one, B has 2, 5. So we know it's not B. So the answer would be D. You don't even need to find out the f of 3 because all of them are correct, except, yeah, all of these are correct. 0, 3, 1, 4, 2, 7, and 3, 12. Number 52. A line L is parallel to line 2x minus 5y minus 8 is equals to 0. What is the gradient of L? Now, we know equation of a line is y is equals to mx plus c, where m is your gradient. So what we're going to do is make y a subject in this equation. So we have 2x minus 5y minus 8 is equals to 0. We carry this across, so we have 2x minus 8 is equals to 5y. We're going to make y the subject, so let's just put 5y is equals to 2x minus 8. If we carry across, multiply by 5 is going to divide by 5. So it's 2x divided by 5 minus 8 divided by 5. It's all divided by 5, but I just separated it. So if we look at this, the coefficient of x, or the number that is in front of x, is 2 over 5. So C would be your answer. Item 53 refers to the following diagram of a circle. So we have this. If O is the center of the circle, then Y is. So what you have to do is, if you have a triangle like this, or even an image like this, Y is equals to 2 multiplied by this one on top. So it's 2 multiplied by 50. It's always, guys, the Y underneath is this angle on top multiplied by 2. So it's 2 multiplied by 50, which is 100. So D would be your answer. So all you guys need to do is, if you see an object like that, know that the angle below here is twice the angle above here. So D would be your answer. Right? This one, we did this already. We said that if there is a parallel line with a transverse line passing through, right? And if you look at it, you'll see a Z angle, right? If you look, we see, and I told you guys, if you look for the Z, the angles within the inside of the Z, that's these angles are equal, right? I'll just give you the answer. So if they are equal, right, in the diagram, PQ and RS are parallel. Which of the following best describes the relationship between X and Y? E. They are equal. So you look for the Z, right, which we are seeing, right? Let me put that in red. If you look at this, you see the Z. And you see that the angles here, X and Y, are in the interiors of the Z, and they are equal. Right? And that is your answer. Wait. No, that's correct. Let's look at number 55. 55 is a transformation question, right? Item 55 refers to the following diagram, which shows WXYZ at its image WXYZ prime 1 and WXYZ prime 2. And after it undergoes a composite / double transformation. So they went in a double transformation. So they want to know to describe this best. Hold on. So number 55, I didn't type it down here, but number 55 says, what sequence of the transformation will map rectangle, this rectangle X, WXYZ onto WXYZ prime, second prime. That's the two little asterisks, right? So we are looking at this smaller triangle here. If we look at it, the second prime is this, right? So if we look at this first off, what type of transformation is that? That is enlargement. So anything that does not have enlargement, oh, all of them have enlargement, okay, right? A translation of 8 units left. Also, if we look at WXYZ, they're not in the same form. So this was somehow rotated. Are we seeing that? Um, was it rotated or reflect? No, this is a reflection. If you guys see this W, if this was reflected, the W would become here, the Z would come here. So this WXYZ seems as though it was reflected. It has some type of reflection, right? So we're looking for reflection. So the first thing is that a translation? If it was a translation, X, W, X, Y, and Z would be in the same formation. This is X, W, Y, Z, right? So it's not a translation. If it is a clockwise, about 90 degrees, this would be facing upwards. If this shift 90 degrees, it would be facing this what you call this thing? Rectangle would have been not horizontal, but it would have been more vertical, right? So it's not a rotation, right? Again, it is not a rotation. So through process of elimination, you know it's not translation, it's not a rotation, it's not this. So the most logical answer would be B. You don't need to find the scale factor or anything. All of the scale factors were the same, right? All you need to do is look at the orientation. That's the word I was looking for. The orientation of X, Y, and Z, they are opposite each other, right? It becomes W, X, Y, and Z. So it is backwards. So we know that would be a reflection on the Y axis. Number 56. In each of the diagrams shown below, A prime is an image of A. Which of the following diagrams shows a reflection? So if it is a reflection, we know how reflections look. It is not E, right? It's not C, right? Where this is a reflection along the what axis? The x-axis, right? This is a reflection along the y-axis, so it's not B either. So the answer would be, through a process of elimination, you could say it is D, or you know, a reflection would be opposite how the triangle would look, and it is along the x-axis. So the answer here is D, right? Let's look at this. 57. In a triangle ABC, angle in a triangle ABC, angle A is equals to x and angle B is equals to 2x. What is the size of angle C? First off, how many degrees is in a triangle? A triangle has 180 degrees. Very good. So x plus 2x plus c would give you 180. So if you want to find out the size of c, it would have been 3x plus c is equals to 180. So we make an c the subject. So you carry across 3x. So c would be 180 minus 3x. So the answer is A. Right? If you had to make c the subject. Right, let's look at number 58. Item 58 refers to the following diagram, which shows an angle of depression of point X from Z. So first off, guys, are we seeing a Z angle? We are, right? If you look here, we're seeing a Z, and the internals of a Z are the same, so we know that this here is 35 degrees. Yeah? And if this is 35, this little square means it's 90, then this angle here would be 180 minus 35 plus 90, 180. I don't even think you need that, but let's just we'll just See that, right? 35 plus 90 is 5, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 125. This is 5, that's 5, 55 degrees. Right? 5, 5, 10, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So this is 55 degrees. Right? They said the angle of depression of point X from Z is 35. If X to Y, so this here is what is 12 meters. The height of X, Y, Z in meters is so YZ. So they're trying to find out this line here. So first off, let us look at if we were to use this 35 degrees angle, right? So if we was to use this triangle here, we say this is 35 and we're trying to find the opposite, right? And this is 12, so the adjacent. So we have adjacent, that's the triangle with the angle and the 90 degrees is equals to 15. Your opposite, right? Let's say that's X. And then we're using theta is equals to 35 degrees, right? So if we know that, right, we're looking for SOHCAHTOA. So we're looking something that has opposite and adjacent. So this is tan, right? So tan 35 is equals to 15 over X, right? You want to make X a subject. Oh my God. All of these have multiplication. So this cannot be the answer. Wait, no, my bad. I made a mistake. It is, the opposite is first, so it's X over 15. So if we want to make X a subject, you carry across 15 here. So it's 15 tan 35. We're looking for that. Do we have 15 tan 35? Sorry, I'm saying 15. It's not 15, guys. It's 12. It's 12. Yeah, it's 12. So the answer would be D. So item 59 says, refers to the following diagram of a right angle triangle, ABC. In the right angle triangle above, which trigonometric ratio is equals to 4 over 8. If we look at 4, right, 4 is, we are using X, right? 4 could be our, first off, 8 is our hypotenuse, right? Now, if we look at SOHCAHTOA, it is not going to be tan. Anything with tan is wrong, right? We are looking for 4 over 8. We know 8 is our hypotenuse, and 4 is a potential either opposite over or adjacent, depending on the angle that we use. If we use angle X, right? If we use angle X here, it would be this here, with this 4 here would be our adjacent. Not adjacent, sorry, opposite. So if it is sine X would be 4 over 8. Now, if we're not using X and we're using Y, right? Hold on, we wouldn't use, wait. If we're using Y, this here becomes your adjacent, which is cos Y is equals to your adjacent over hypotenuse, which is also 4 over 8. Now, let us see what they have. Do they have cos Y here? No, they don't have cos Y. They have cos X. So if it was cos X, so this one would be, we don't have cos X, so sorry, cos Y, so it's not C. I told you it's not tan because tan has nothing to do, none of these is opposite over adjacent. We don't have, this long line here is hypotenuse, so definitely it's not tan. So it's either sine or cos. I told you if it was sine X, so we're using X as our degrees, our opposite would be 4, right? And our hypotenuse would be 8. Right? So it's either sine X, or if we're using Y, right? 4 now becomes our adjacent, and well, hypotenuse is the same. But we said it's not cos y. We don't have cos y. We have cos x. So your answer is E. So again, let's go through this question. So we know, right, SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA. So we're looking for something that has hypotenuse because it is over 8, right? So it is not tan. So anything with tan, you would have crossed out. Tan y, tan x does not matter, right? Now, if we're using a triangle here, and we're using angle x, right? We're not studying the y. This is BAC, right? This is 8, and this is 4. The side CB is our opposite. So if you're using, not sine, sorry, if you're using angle X, right, CB is now your opposite, right? And, well, A does not change. CA is always your hypotenuse, right? This is your hypotenuse. So we have opposite of a hypotenuse, which is sine. So if you're using angle X, it would be sine X, which is the angle in question, is equal to opposite, which is 4 over 8. Right? Now that's if you're using angle X. Now if you're using angle Y as the angle in question, right? This will still be your hypotenuse. Your hypotenuse is always the angle, the side that is opposite the 90 degrees, right? If we're using Y as our angle, right, this side here, CB, would now become your adjacent because your adjacent is the side that has your 90 degrees and the angle in question. So now we're going to be using adjacent and hypotenuse, right? So CB is now, so this is if you're using angle X, and if you're using, let me write this again. If you're using angle Y, CB is your adjacent, and your CA, sorry, is still your hypotenuse. Your hypotenuse does not change, right? So if we're using adjacent and hypotenuse, it would be cos Y is equals to your adjacent, which is 4 over 8. If we look at the answers that they give you, right, it has cos x. That cannot be the answer because if it was cos x, that's something else. That's something different, right? So the answer is sine x, and that is how you get this. Do we understand? Now, if you don't remember this, we can just use the answers. Sine x, right? So if that x is our angle in question, that means it would be sine x is equals to opposite over hypotenuse. Your opposite, if it's a sine x, would be 4 over 8, which is the answer that they give you. So you could have done that instead tan y. That is not, that's out of the question. Cos x, if it was cos x, that is adjacent ADJ over hypotenuse. Your adjacent, if we're talking about cos x, would actually be AB or BA, whichever one, right? Remember, your adjacent is the side that has both your 90 degrees and your angle in question. The angle in question here was x. So your adjacent is BA, right? BA does not have a length, so we know that C would not be your answer. Right, 60. Under translation minus 2, 3, the image of minus 5, 3 is, so we have object to image, right? The object is minus 5, 3. We turn this to a column vector, so it's minus 5 on top, 3 at the bottom, not over 3, sorry. It is minus 5 and 3, right? Plus our translation, which is minus 2, 3 to get our image, right? So minus 5 plus minus 2 is minus 7. You can look at the answers there. We get C. C is the answer. But let's just do it. -5 plus -2 is -7. And 3 plus 3 is 6. Right? We know the coordinates. If it is -7, 6, the number on top is your x value. And your y is your bottom value, which is 6, which is -7. 6, which is C. And that is how you would do this. Right, and that is the end of January 2023, numbers 39 to 60.